afternoon. Good afternoon, my good friends. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome. Let me introduce myself. My name is Andre Lefevre. Andre Lefevre. And I like to mouth off on things political, things cultural, things interesting. I am a citizen journalist. I don't get paid for this. I do it because I like to. I do it because I like to. I feel compelled to. And I think it's important for those of us who have the ability and journalism training, even though we may not be in the journalism business, to mouth off, to report what the corporate control media is not reporting. Um, something something is alarming me quite a bit. Um, there are a lot of signs that the hard left, the opposition to the American middle class, to the opposition to us, deplorables, the ones who elected Donald Trump, those of us who believe in freedom, those of us who don't believe in the Marxist, fascist, collectivist tyranny, uh, are going to be subject to a left violence. There is a rally going on right now in where is it in Oregon at Waterfront Park in Portland. We're going to see some of the videos that I found on the internet. Usually those that generate into a brawl because law-abiding citizens like us get together to express our to express our God-given right to express whatever we want to express in a peaceful manner. And the Soros thugs, the hard left fascist thugs, set upon the people who just want to exercise their God-given right to free expression, which is expressed in the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. But I have found something even more, even more alarming. Let's see. Let me just find. I am on. I am on the Washington Times website. As you can see, the headline from today is civil rights rally goers in D.C. could get separate subway cars. Let me read it and make some comments because it is actually alarming. Let's see here. Here we go. Uh, Give me just a sec so I can read it. Transportation officials preparing for a white civil rights rally being organized outside the White House uh, next weekend are considering segregating participants and counter-protesters on separate subway cars. The chairman of the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Area Transit Authority said Friday. Uh, we have groups clearly at odds with each other, said Metro Board Chair Jack Evans. We'd like to keep the groups separate. We don't want the incidents on Metro. Maybe put all groups on a train on a certain cars on a train. He told the local NBC affiliate, we're trying to see how we can keep the groups separate so we don't have any incidents, not to put in place programs that could be problematic in the future. Scheduled for Sunday, August 17th, the event falls on the first anniversary of the last year's violent Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where fights between the far-right participants and opposing demonstrators culminated in the death of a counter-protester. Charlottesville resident Jason Kessler, the organizer of the last summer rally, has received preliminary approval from the National Park Service to hold the event in Lafayette Park outside the White House, raising safety concerns throughout the region given last year's outcome. Well, let me say a few things about that. Uh, white civil rights are only championed by Soros shills. There is no, let me repeat that, there is no grassroots organization in the United States that supports so-called white civil rights. There is no support in the United States for white supremacy outside of maybe a few hundred, maybe 1,000 at the most deranged individuals. Every time you see a quote unquote official white supremacist group or somebody loudly agitating for the white supremacy, white civil rights, they are paid shills for Soros or they're agent provocateurs of the deep state. Let me say that again. White supremacy is not the idea that white people in the United States believe in. There are a few deranged individuals that may believe in it, but they are deranged. If you see a organization that is dedicated to the white supremacists, to racism, to those Nazi ideas, and openly wear Nazi insignias and propagate white supremacies, it is a tool. Those are crisis actors that are being used, the agents of the left, to incite the violence. This type of article, this type of news worries me because Charlottesville was a false flag. It started out as a rally to save the Civil War statues, and it was infused with the agents provocateurs of the West to create the violence. It is, if you do some research on it, just very cursory, you'll find out that everybody involved in violence, whether the left or the white supremacists, were paid by the same masters. And that scares the crap out of me because I think this is how the global elites wants to topple the national government of the United States. They want to create a phony incident in Washington, D.C., and other parts of the United States to bring in the martial law, assassinate or arrest our president, and bend us to their will under the pretext of the fact that the white people are defective and cannot be trusted. Remember, the leftists, the Soros supporters, the hard left supporters, is the same mindset as National Socialist ideology of the Third Reich. There is no difference between communists and National Socialists. There is no difference between the communists and all the collectivists and all the ideas of the white supremacy. As a matter of fact, the Nazis were an offshoot of the progressive movement. Many of them, if not all, were anti-religious, they were anti-Christian, they were atheists, and pretty much all of them came out of a progressive and communist movement. They are the enemies of everything Christian, everything decent, everybody who believes in Judeo-Christian values. Dinesh D'Souza wrote an excellent book recently called The Big Lie. I'll probably review it sometime in the future that explains exactly how the left perpetrated this huge lie, aligning us, the God-fearing Americans who believe in everything good and decent and proper, with the Nazis. Nazis exterminated people like us. As a matter of fact, before World War II, the progressive Democrats kept the portraits of Mussolini and Adolf Hitler in their offices. They were darlings of the left. It's hard to believe, but Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini were darlings of the American left before World War II. As a matter of fact, the Nuremberg laws were modeled on the Jim Crow laws of the South. And there were some voices during the Nuremberg law proceedings when Nazis were debating the separation and extermination of races during 1930s. They thought that the Southern Democrats went a bit too far in their Jim Crow laws. But that's set aside. Now let's go back to the news. Let's see here. I Let me find this. This is from yesterday. Watch Patriot Prayer supporters counter protest converge outside Waterfront Park, and there is a video, and that's from Portland. That's what's going on right now. So let me see if I can start the video up. Here we go. This is from Portland. Let's see here. Here you go. This is right now. It looks peaceful. Look at the police presence. The question, and that's happening in Portland right now.
Okay, so about a couple minutes ago, Portland police announced that cars will be resuming. The traffic will resume here near Southwest NATO Parkway. So all people have to move onto sidewalks immediately, and failure to comply means potential arrest or citation. Or if it gets bad enough, riot control weapons.
Yeah, that looks like the cops ready.
And it looks like police have confiscated things like homemade shields, bats that are wrapped in.
Usually, the weapons are only confiscated from. Let me see. Here. Sorry about that. Let me see. For some reason, the transmission is cutting out. Let me see if I can restart it. But usually, from what I've seen of the reports, usually the weapons are only confiscated from the Trump supporters, from decent people. The Antifa and the leftist protesters don't go through the same situation. Let me see if I can. For some reason, this video is kept on cutting. It's fair use. This is from KGW8. It's an NBC affiliate in Portland. Here we go.
And those folks in black could be Antifa, unable to really accurately tell.
Yeah, the live stream is not a great quality. But this is Portland, Oregon, where you have the Trump supporters demonstrating in support of everything decent.
Looks like they're crossing the street.
So far, there is no violence. Look at the cops dressed in a riot gear.
On signs or said, we of course apologize. It's Facebook Live. What can you do?
What does that sign say?
Hundreds of people down here for the protest.
Yeah, I love your shirt. I love your shirt.
Yeah. Well. Anyways, so that's what's going on in Portland. Let me stop this. Again, so far it looks Portland is peaceful, and let's hope it'll stay that way. But again, it is my fear that that's how the hard left, I'm going to put them under the Soros people, put them under the globalist people. That's how they want to topple our republic. They want to support the unrest simultaneously in many cities. Washington D.C., Portland, Los Angeles, Chicago. All uh, the Eastboard liberal enclaves like Boston, Philadelphia, etc., etc. And under the pretext of, and basically they are controlling both sides. They will be controlling the so-called white supremacists, like the ones that's like the rally that's planned next weekend for Washington D.C. and Antifa and Black Lives Matter. So they will write the scenario, they will write the script, create violence, hoping that they can incite a civil war of sorts, bring the martial law, arrest or assassinate Trump, close down the free internet news outlets like Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity. Those will probably be arrested or assassinated. And they had a test run a couple of weeks ago where they at the same time shut down all the major conservative websites, including Infowars and Breitbart, I believe, and Drudge Report, maybe a couple of others, and all of them were shut down for about half an hour, all at the same time. Obviously, a test run. I suspect that those demonstrations in Portland, Oregon, are kind of a test run to see how far Antifa can go into creating violence. I also suspect that the rally in Washington, that white supremacist rally that's planned in Washington next weekend, is also a test run. No Trump supporter, no decent person will support white supremacy. White supremacy. The whole premise of white civil rights is ridiculous. Civil rights is for everybody. We're all children of our Maker. You cannot, by looking at our souls, you cannot tell the difference what the wrapper is, and that's all it is. Our bodies are wrappers. What's important is up here, and what's important is up here. And going to the next story that I have seen. Let's see. And this one I really don't know. That's from Daily Caller. This is from yesterday. Let me see here. Who or what is QAnon? And QAnon is first where I saw it was on 4chan boards, and it's supposedly a group of military intelligence officials who have the inside knowledge who would post riddles. I stopped believing them being genuine when I see QAnon pushing a theory that our Attorney General Sessions is secretly indicting deep state officials. To me, it was an absolute horse crap. It's a form of psychological warfare. I don't know what QAnon is. I just know that it's kind of an interesting riddles. The gentleman, let's see what the gentleman's name is who wrote this. Anders Hagstrom, the reporter for Daily Caller, he put out a video. And fair use, I'm going to play the video for you. And you be the judge. I disagree with the video and some of the things, but I think it's important to know what's being put out by supposedly our side, the Trump supporters' side. So let's listen in.
We don't exactly know who Q is.
QAnon conspiracy theory.
QAnon.
It's not a conspiracy.
What is QAnon and why is everyone freaking out about it? In short, it's a baseless conspiracy theory that was too ridiculous even for 4chan. Slightly longer, the premise is there's one or a bunch of high-level government officials leaking information to the American people through code in a grand attempt to protect President Donald Trump from the deep state. So, it's the deep state saving Donald Trump from the deep state. Anyway, one of the signals these conspiracy theorists go for is the number 17 because Q is the 17th letter in the alphabet. So, when Alabama's football team gifted Trump a number 17 jersey on their visit to the White House, they took it as a sign. But Alabama only gave him that number because they'd won the 2017 season. Here's another of the apparently numerous times Q has saved President Trump from the dangerous government cabal. This was from when Alex Jones of InfoWars was still friendly with the QAnon craze.
It's Christmas Eve, and I have come into the office to stream this emergency transmission. The globalists have a decent chance of killing the president in the next 2 weeks.
Wow, thank God for Alex Jones taking time away from his clearly healthy family life to broadcast on Christmas Eve and literally save the president's life. Now, not long after this, InfoWars started claiming QAnon had been compromised and was no longer trustworthy. I wonder why they did that. Maybe out of real concern for the movement, or maybe Jones just wanted to keep the corner market on conspiracy theory peddling. You decide. To be sure, most Trump supporters don't believe in this stuff, and it's not even clear that those who do pay attention to it do so as anything more than a joke. The problem is, outlets like the New York Times and CNN readily grab onto these few crazies and use them to paint large swaths of Republicans.
Okay, so that was this video. Let me make a couple of comments. About this. It is disturbing that he's trying to make fun of us, the freedom-loving people in the United States. They showed Alex Jones in a very unfavorable light. You may disagree with him, but you cannot doubt his bona fides. The reason he was chasing that man, I think it was in Portland, Oregon, is because that man just dumped a cup of coffee on him. So I don't know who this person is. What's his name? Anders Hagstrom. I just started following him on Twitter. You know, kind of an elitist point of view against those of us who believe that the deep state is real and it is a real danger to our republic and a real danger to us, the middle class man. It is a form of psychological warfare. I'm surprised that it appeared in the Daily Caller. Because I like most of the coverage the Daily Caller does, but there's always an agenda. There's always an agenda. What Hangstrom's agenda is, I suspect he fancies himself part of the ruling class, of that intelligentsia, people who are smarter than us, the deplorables. I don't believe that Q is real. I do not believe that Q is real. I don't know what Q is. It's some weird phenomena. But to ridicule people who have been fighting a good fight against the deep state and the collectivists for at least a couple of decades, I don't think it is warranted. I think it just shows that there's an agenda. There's an agenda deeper than what's on the surface. This is the next story that I found, and this one is from Breitbart. CNN, April Ryan, Jim Acosta's life was in jeopardy at Trump rally. I have seen videos of that rally. I did not see anybody threatening CNN reporter's life. I have not seen anybody calling anybody on our side calling for any violence against CNN. Chanting CNN sucks is not the same thing as showing a literal mock murder of our president. It's not the same thing as urging to exclude us, the deplorables, from any civil life in the United States. And that's what Jim Acosta, CNN, and the leftists are doing. I am in fear that when leftists ratcheting up those kind of things, they are preparing for the civil unrest and for destroying our republic, for creating the true uh, second civil war. They want to get rid of us physically. They lost in the realm of the ideas. They cannot compete in the realm of a civil discourse because we have better ideas, and conservatives and libertarians, Trump supporters, are just better quality people. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate more than I can tell you. Visit my website, wildnews.us. If you're watching a replay on YouTube, BitChute, Real Video, or any other platform, please subscribe. I know I love and appreciate any and all comments, and even if they're rude and you want to troll me, I can go high or I can go low, and I enjoy being trolled. So if you want to troll me, please do. Just be prepared to be able to take it as much as you can dish out. Thank you again. God bless you. And I will see you probably Monday. Bye-bye.